Hey y'all, I'm Darielle. I'm the face behind the Urban Book Nook, and I share book reviews, author spotlights, and all things lit, literally. And I'm so happy to be here today with the author of Trigger. Now, if you follow me, you know I had some questions for this book. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this special guest introduce herself, and you tell the people who you are. Let them know.
Well, my name is Monichia, but everybody calls me Mo, and I am the founder of Heal from Scratch LLC, where we champion healing through multiple forms of storytelling. And I am the author of Triggered, which is my debut novel. And I'm just showing up every day as a woman that's becoming a better writer, a better person, a better friend, and all things above.
I love it. How has this author journey been?
Up and down, honestly. And I'm always transparent because we
Okay.
tend to show just the highlights. But this has been one of the biggest learning experiences for me in my life on this journey for sure.
I love that though. But you put out a piece of art. So I mean, for the book girlies, you doing your thing. If you don't know how you doing, we telling you you doing
Yes.
good. I was reading your reviews like before I even posted mine. I was like, well, what's everybody else saying? You know, I like to see if I thought what everybody else said. And it seems that we all are, you did your thing. You you did it.
That
So how
means so much to me, man.
you deserve your flowers on this one, and you wait till I get into my questions because baby, I got a list for you. So how did we
Okay.
get here? How did we decide to even begin writing a book?
Well, back in 2018, I was going through some things and I was putting my journey on social media. And my childhood coach was like, I'm a 40-year-old man and I'm inspired. Have you ever thought about writing a book? And I said, no, but I'll give it a try. And I did. And that process was actually flawless for me. It was a story about me. It's called Motivation. I don't really advertise it because I wasn't a writer back then.
Okay.
But jumping into fiction, I just wanted to see what I had. I've always been a writer. I'm a poet. So I just wanted to try that side of it once I started doing my research about the craft. So that's really how I got started.
I can see the poetry because let me not hold on. Oh, oh, you
Don't
wait.
butter my biscuits,
I
please.
you wait. Okay, so the title alone carries so much weight. What does triggered mean in the context of this book or just as a whole?
Well, for first and foremost, with everything that's happening in the story, I want you to know that you're going to be triggered. Um,
Mhm.
and the original title was Miss Beretta, excuse me. And I couldn't use that because, it's the name of a weapon. So I wanted to kind of stick with that.
Ah,
But I'm a title girly. So I tend to like find the title for a piece, whether it's a poem, whether it's a story, and see how I can embellish with that. So Trigger just fit the mark. And it actually kind of helped me intertwine some of the stories because I'm like, yo, this title can work. How can we make this what it is? So
okay.
that's what that is.
So then we are here we go then because throughout this book, right? Tell me this. There's the date and the times that stands out. I realize at the
Hmm.
beginning of each chapter. So what's the significance of the date and times? Does it mean a little I know it was documenting our day throughout, but was there another meaning that we needed to pay attention for? What was the intention with that?
Well, because it's written in four parts with
Mm-hmm.
multiple point of views, I wanted people to see how one thing could be happening in different places. So
Ah.
you have to use those times to say, okay, well, back in part one, they were over here, but
Yeah.
this was happening. This was that domino effect because of whatever they were doing at 2:14 p.m. in the afternoon.
Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't missing a bigger picture. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. So why didn't we get hair a lot?
The
How do you
harlot.
say it? Harlot?
The harlot. Yes,
Why
that's
didn't
my
we get
girl.
her point of view?
Because so with Trigger, because it's written over a span of 5 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I left so much meat on the bone.
You
So if
did.
you go to my prologue, it's a 30-year in between there. And
Mm-hmm.
then those FMCs, they're 30. So it's 30
Mm-hmm.
years there. So before the setting of Triggered, it's 60 years of stuff happening, violence, murder, money, gang stuff, this, that, and the third. So there's always room for that. But maybe for those 5 days, she just doesn't need to be heard, but you feel her. And that was the key.
And I needed her because I just felt like she was going to give me, like, I just feel like she created an entity of her own. So you did very
Mm-hmm.
well because in my mind, she's like the main character without even having a point of view. So that stressed me because I'm reading everybody else's and I just was like, I know I'm gonna get to Big Mama. Like I know I'm gonna get to her. And then I was like, but she has such an ego that are
Mm-hmm.
we getting like a book two? Are we gonna get about her? Are we gonna even touch on her?
You're gonna get the harlot for sure. I would definitely say that. And my goal with not just the harlot, but every minor character, I wanted them to be developed enough or to have enough mystique where they can hold their own story, where the reader will want to know, I want to know more about John. Like, where did John come from? The harlot was definitely one of my priority minor characters to make sure that she carried. So I can give her a voice in a
Okay,
book of
so
her
I
own.
just want to put out there when we touch on her, I need the development of her dropping bodies. Okay, I need her 15 straight. Just I need it all. Okay, just say when you do my girl, I need her backstory so she could just solidify like
Yes.
the already what I got in my head about her. All right, so what was the intention behind exploring this type of trauma, baby? Because I was traumatized. And just more of its like ripple effect. Like what made us pick such a multi-layered character? Because Danielle had me messed up. Okay. I was like, girl, how do we get to such a multi-layered character?
Well, I am an advocate for mental health, and I wanted to make sure that I can inform and also entertain. But during the development stages for Danielle, she did fall flat. And I wanted to know, why was she doing these things? Why was she crazy? So within that character development, it kind of happened. And once I found her voice, um, she just told her own story. Because Danielle was originally in my head. She was the only character that I had. And
Yeah.
she was Chitty Chitty Bang
Oh.
Bang in my head. I just saw her in her own multiverse. But again, when it came to writing it and transforming it and transferring it from my head to paper, she fell
Okay.
flat. And so just those layers came in naturally. And she truly told her own story.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. And I just feel like she even needs to stand out because the fact that she's aware that it's three people inside her had me like, girl, what is going on? I'm not even saying with this one voice, but the fact that she was able to control her, you did well on that. I just feel like all of them we're
Yes.
girl, we're essentially triggered. I mean, because you gave enough backstory and layer on each of them that as you got their point of views, everything made sense. Like I was reading it from somebody else's point of view, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna go off." And lo and behold, I was like, "Oh, told you, I knew that was gonna happen." Okay, so was the ending always the end, or was it
Mm-mm.
something else?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not at all. I didn't get the ending until I got done writing it, until my editor had it, truly. Because it had to go through developmental editing and all that stuff. So during developmental editing, my editor helped me pull everything together,
Okay.
and I was like, okay, how can I do this in a way that I can have something left at the end? Like
Mm,
if I wanted to, being an indie author, I don't know if that's a lot of people's goal. But to be picked up, if I did have an opportunity for something bigger, I do have
wiggle
trigger,
room.
in my
Yeah.
my toolbox that has layers that I can do with it. So the I had like four endings actually, but the one that I picked, yeah,
Don't stress me like that because what
I did.
else? That means there was three other options.
Hmm. Because ultimately, like, who survives? Like, who
Right.
do you want to, like, if there was an interview, who do you want to be the last man standing? And I'm gonna be honest with you, Sigrid, the character,
Yeah.
because she is a narcissist, at some point in the writing, she became my favorite character. Like, she convinced me that the story was about her. So
You're right.
she
She
did have,
definitely
so like different
became
people had endings.
she became a bad bitch. And then as I started rooting for her, and not to give the story away, when whatever was happening, as she was trailing through, I don't want to give away. And then I was almost like, do I feel bad for you because you're now sick? Or is it like, did you get what you deserved? Or is it like, nah, bad bitches she gotta do a thing. I was confused with her. And then when we got her point of view, I was like, she's not wrong. I mean, she's wrong, but she's not wrong. So she became character too. But then I like I don't know. I feel like Danielle is like one and a half. I just that's hard. I don't even know who to tell you my favorite character was, but they all became such an entity of its own that it's just like you could have bust that down in the series and I would have been like triggered and followed everybody because they all became huge.
That's beautiful. And that was the goal. So hearing that, mission accomplished for sure. That was the goal.
They did. You did well. You did well. You did well. I was on my Kindle like, what is next? Like, where are we going? So, what scene did you almost not include?
Um, a lot of the darker scenes, I think that in every part there was a scene that was like, they gonna judge me for this. Like like, because Triggered is not a cookie cutter type of story. It is dark, but I allowed humor to lift that,
Yeah.
and to find light in the darkness. So I feel like there's one scene in every point of view that I was a little hesitant, like, okay, we doing a lot here, you know?
So one of Danielle's personalities had me a little confused when it's time to make unalive people. But a part of me was very intrigued with that. And I will tell you, I didn't even know that was like a kink. I was like, do I like this? Am I concerned? Like, is
Be
it me?
concerned, both. You should be both.
Is it me because she wrote it, or is it me because I'm like intrigued? Like, what's going on here?
Yes. But see, the thing is, when you're dealing with mental health, I think that like the way that we see stuff in movies, we see different disorders in movies, it's always like this just mainstream way, but that's not it. That's and I wanted to portray
Mhm.
something that was out of the box, but like it could happen. Like it could happen.
Girl, I'm not about to play with you. I'm not about to play with you. Not today. So I'm a cover girly. I judge a book by its cover, and this cover was very intriguing to me. One because of the backdrop, and just
Hmm.
two, we got nails did. We holding a little pew pew. How do we get to the cover? Did you design that? What happened? How was the story?
Well, I have a cover artist. I met him on Fiverr, actually. Um, I always had that idea in mind, the exact cover. That's what I wanted. And I went through multiple cover artists, but nope. A lot of people were kind of like, I don't think you should go that route. Like, do you
Mhm.
think you want to be in stores? A lot of people are hesitant, just giving me advice,
Mhm.
like, hey, and I just went for it. I found him on Fiverr. I told him what I wanted, and he delivered. He delivered,
He
like
did.
he
It looked
did,
really good.
and
I definitely was like, oh, I mean, the cover alone would
it
definitely
tells the
make you,
story.
yeah. Yeah. So what's the importance of it being in Atlanta? Are you from Atlanta?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
I'm from South Georgia, but I
Okay.
was raised in Marietta, Georgia, and I played a lot in Atlanta for sure.
Okay. Well, I live in Houston now, but I moved from the Atlanta area here. I was in the Fayetteville area, I guess you can say.
Hmm.
So not that far. But so have you been to Two Best Friends, the bookstore?
No, but I did watch your interview
You
and I will
gotta
be going. I
go.
am. I'm gonna vlog it and everything. I want to sign the wall. I'm gonna find your name
You're
and
gonna
I'm gonna
love
see.
it.
Yes,
You're
I
gonna
saw
love
the
it.
interview.
I definitely promote her. You'll love Two Best Friends. Even the space. I'm not an open mic girly, but you'll love the space. So I just have to plug both of y'all. So now I gotta ask her to get your
Yes,
books in the store. So after this, I'm gonna tell her we need to talk so she can get your books because your books need to be on her shelves. And I
yes.
totally think they would fly off just because of the allurements in the cover, girl. You did.
That means a lot. And I love the way she described like the atmosphere and what it means to her. I'm going there for
You'll
sure. I'm
love it.
going
You'll
there.
love it. You'll love
Yes.
it. I promise. I promise. What was the hardest scene for you to write? Just, or maybe like emotionally, or maybe edit wise?
The hardest scene, there were actually the hardest was part three, Kevin and Kenneth. The end. That was very hard for me. Um I had to go to a really dark place to do it. I have like this whole I have to be triggered. I have to trigger myself. Um, and then the scene with Jasmine in part two, I
Mm,
had it, but I wanted to make sure that I wrote it in a way where like I wanted you to clutch your pearls. I wanted to hurt, but I still wanted to give her a little dignity in that scene, you know. I didn't want to just beat her down so much. So those two were the hardest scenes for sure. I think everything else I kind of enjoyed.
I think that was hard. Because they broke my heart. That was his daddy. I can't, I don't want to talk too much. That was a lot. Like just family trauma. I was like, God damn, we got family trauma, we got physical trauma, we got mental trauma.
I'm so sorry I did that to everybody who's read it, my bad.
I'm like, this is every layer of traumatic could be. I, again, again, I like to be traumatized. This is my problem. It's like a ick. Like for some reason, I cry about it. Like, how dare you write that? But then how dare me want to be triggered? Because it's just so funny how your mind, you get invested. And as I'm
Yes.
reading, like you're reading, like, I know this isn't right. This is not right. I need to walk away. And yet you're like, well, what's next? What's about to come out of this? So what you said your most character you felt connected to was Danielle?
Danielle followed a real close Sigrid for sure, as far as closest to.
Okay.
But Danielle was always my A spoon coon.
So are we writing these characters based off people we know, or do we just literally pull them out our hats? How do we
Well,
establish these people?
well, Danielle was inspired by me, for sure. I pulled a lot of experiences and things that I've went through, and some of the trauma that I had. Of course, I reinvented it,
Okay.
um, to allow my trauma to go free without putting a name on it because you I don't you're not a villain in my story, but this is my story to tell. As far as Sigrid, the best way for me to do Sigrid, I channeled every woman that broke my heart, every woman that were intricate in my life. Um, and that's what built Sigrid. Like every single last one of them, every argument, a lot of the dialogue and triggered were arguments and dialogue that I had in real life. So
So wait, what was this writing process like then? Because if you had to mentally trigger yourself, did you have to walk away? Like, did it take months to process that? Because you're literally putting yourself in that space then.
I didn't realize how hurt I was after the story was completed. Because again, not just the scenes, like it maybe not had happened to me, but I had to go to spaces to evoke the emotion needed to get that scene out. Um, So it was right after I published, I realized that I may need to go to a little more therapy. I may need a little help. But what I did learn in this process, because I think that thriller is my lane, I've
Mhm.
learned how to decompress from
Okay.
scenes and how to leave it all on the paper. Because again, I took all this trauma with me. And if I'm going to use this as a release, I have to learn to leave
Let
it
it
there,
go.
leave it in the
Yep.
scene. Yeah. So,
That's what I was going to ask. Like, did we have to step away, get a cup of wine? Like, how? But if that's mentally, but then that sounds more therapeutic, like to just leave it all like on the paper, which is healing almost. Did
yeah.
you feel healed after writing this book then?
No, no.
No.
No. Healing is a journey that's ongoing. But
Yeah.
what it did make me realize right in this book was that I needed to heal.
Okay.
That I needed to like, okay, we need to do something with what we got going on for sure.
Okay. What has surprised you most about the reader's reactions? I see you read reviews. So what has surprised you the most?
Everything, just people just taking in the story, people enjoying it, people getting it. Like I was so concerned that like people would be confused
Mm.
with Danielle, but people like enjoying the confusion, enjoying the delusion and leaning in. So every review is just like, I'm enjoying every part of it. And even the ones that um are like, I like this, but I didn't like that. It's still a learning experience for me, and I'm learning from that.
So what's next for you? Do we have another book? Are we currently writing a book? What we doing?
I have two in my whip right now that I'm working on. Yes.
Year releases, or are we pushing it to next year?
The goal is this year. Now, call me crazy, but I have this idea of like dropping what I would consider like a mixtape, you know, something short, sweet from my heart, and then dropping like my album, which will be my sophomore novel. That's the idea. So you're the first person to know that for sure. So we dropping tea here. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you're gonna drop a novelli because I feel like you would be bomb at novellis. It's short to the point, and you would be bomb at them. But if you give us a novelli before a book two, I'm all for it. I'm all
I'm working on that just because of stamina. Like
okay.
I am truly learning my stamina as a writer and learning my pen. So I do want that. I do want something short, sweet, straight to the point.
We want to. Ooh, now you know what would be bomb. Like, well, I always love like holiday novellas. Like you could now I feel like you would kill that one, like St. Patrick's Day Murderers or something.
Come on, give me some ideas, honey. Let me put it on the board.
We could do Valentine's Day Killers. I'm just saying you could definitely this could work. This could work. I could see it. And you would kill the novelli game because you could put most randomness in this short span book and we're gonna eat.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. So where are we seeing you at? Any book events? Any interviews? What's on your list coming up?
But right now I'm getting ready for the Conyers Book Fest, which is in April the 11th and the 12th. It's on the bigger scale. I'm new to the book event space and world. I'm new to interviews. So I do have some things coming up. As far as interviews, nothing has been confirmed, but I'm definitely working on some things. As far as events, again, like I'm having, discourse and emails exchanged, but nothing has been confirmed as of yet. I'm looking to volunteer for a lot of the bigger events,
Okay.
just to learn, just to be around, like to be just in
Ooh,
this community.
girl, you
I'm
gotta
just, I'm just so grateful.
a book event to be on both sides is crazy because just being as a
Yes.
creator, it's so much. I mean, it's so much culture, it's so much livelihood. it's the dopest thing to be a part of. But to be on the other side and have us
Yes,
for you, I wish nothing but that for you. And I cannot wait to run up to your table. I will not be at a Conyers one, but I know we will cross paths soon.
we will.
Sure. So, but let me know when we talking about book two in this novelli, okay? Don't play with me.
I'm ready. And I'm gonna drop it like, y'all, it's ready. Your dinner's ready.
Out of nowhere, and we gonna eat it up. You do really well though. Just how you advertise, I'm invested. So if
That
nobody's
means a lot.
doing well in your media, you're doing well. You're putting yourself out there. And I think what made me find you is the timer when you were like, I'm gonna talk about it, and I was like, what is going on? But it was dope. I mean, it made me start to watch because I was like, what's going on? So you're doing absolutely well. So I wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully I can screen your name out to the world so everybody can get it. But I need a physical
Yes,
copy. So how can I get
I
a physical?
got you. We gonna once we end this, it's coming. Say
Okay.
less.
I need my
Say
name.
less.
Okay. I love
Yes.
you. I need my book trophies. So and if y'all have not checked this out, y'all definitely need to. I can't get over Danielle. Like
That's my bottom.
I
Like I love Danielle. I do.
uh, like one wanted to be pregnant. Don't okay, I'll get off my soapbox about her. But you did this is so when I read books, right? Sometimes I catch myself complaining out loud. And this was definitely one of the books that I was definitely looking at my husband like, can you believe this is happening? Like I'm reading fast. And he's like, what do you read? Just listen to this. And he's like, that's wild. I know. And it's provocative and we want more of it. Like,
Yes. Yes. So I think that's good. Mission accomplished for sure.
good.
That means so much. You don't understand how much that means to me.
Did well. You did well. I was talking to Reese about you. We kind of debriefing on your book. I was like, she did that. She did that. Like it's very rare that you get a book and then everybody's like, yeah, man, like I don't even know where to begin. So I hope a lot of people pick you. I just saw that you said somebody picked you up for a book club, right?
Yes, yes. The Lovely Readers Book Club in Thomasville, Georgia. Shout out to them because me being an indie author, being new, whatever way I can get my story out there, I can. They wouldn't let me give them free copies. They were like, no, no, we want to support you. We're proud of you. Like you're representing us. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the Lovely Readers
Or
Book
that book
Club.
club meeting is going to be the truth.
I'm so nervous. I am.
It's going
I
to be
am. I ain't gonna hold you.
truth.
And
Oh,
they're so diverse too. And it's so surprising just the diversity that's coming out to
yeah.
support me. And because I'm like, this one, this is blackity black. It's some stuff in there that I dropped that if you don't know what a hot comb feel like, you would know what I'm saying. But
That
the support has been overwhelming for sure. And I'm grateful for
girl, because I was like, oh, oh, I know this.
it.
But
Yes.
I thank you so much for joining me. I wish you nothing but the best and success, and I will stalk you via social media as
Thank you.
always. And thank you again.
So thank you for having me for sure. This has been a pleasure and I'm honored to be in the Nook. For you to respond to me on that post, I was just jumping out on a limb and I just appreciate your kindness for you supporting my story, for you having me. It means the most to me for sure.
Always, anytime I can. Uh-oh.